All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is July 23rd. Geez, this summer is really flying by, huh? Thanks again for joining. If you haven't, please like and share this video. You guys have been slacking. Come on, I need a little help over here. Like and share the video, whatever platform you're watching it on, whether it's YouTube, Rumble, X, whatever it is. And just a heads up, at some point or another here, this is going, this will continue, but it's likely only going to continue on Rumble. So if you're not on Rumble, make sure you download that and follow me. Right? You can get the app, you can get it on your computer, you can even watch it on your TV. Okay, so that's likely where we're headed with this Mando's Morning Brew. So, but just to get us going here, let me come on over here, and I hope you guys can hear me also. If you guys have any individual names you want to take a look at before the market opens, feel free to drop it in the live chat right now. We will get to that at some point today. I have a few, but if you want to look at anything specific, please let me know. But just to start, here is a market overview. All right, we are all good. So go back and watch yesterday's Mando's Morning Brew, and basically exactly what we said earlier in the morning happened yesterday, where we got that expansive move higher. There is still one low-hanging fruit objective that I will discuss when we get into a little bit of a smaller time frame. But at the moment, this is what we're looking at, right? One thing that we were, I guess, worried about, and not really all that worried, but one thing that we're keeping on the back burner here is the fact that there is potential over the next 3 days and 8 hours for there to form some sort of weekly bearish fair value gap, okay, right here. If price does not run back up into that 20,335, we're going to get the creation of a weekly bearish fair value gap. And that to me would be no good for bulls, as if you were to go back historically, you'll notice that more often than not, when you form that imbalance to the downside, it often suggests that discount of that range is going to go get seen. Okay, so that's where I'm at currently in terms of NASDAQ. I am really on the fence. I could see a path to continuation and another leg higher on this move, but also I think the semis do not look all that great, and that is something that is going to need to look pretty good in order for this to continue back to those all-time highs. So that's just where I'm at on the weekly. This week will most definitely set us up for what we're going to see moving forward here. But no impact, high impact data today. It's after hours today. We have Tesla and Google earnings. Wednesday, we have PMIs. Thursday, we have GDP in the morning, and Friday we have PCE. So that there's a lot of things that can move this, right? So this, to me, there is a possibility of 20,335. Is it one that I really favor all that much? I'm not so sure. We'll look at some of these semis, and I'll show you my thought process there, because to me, they really don't look all that great. Now, coming back down over here to NASDAQ, you'll notice, just like we said yesterday, we had that showtime imbalance overhead, and we did not quite get there yet. That 162, where that imbalance starts, is also the relative equal highs in discount of your hourly range that I've been looking towards. So that is a place where I'm thinking price is going to go at some point this week. Now it's just a matter of, do we see a Tuesday high of week, Tuesday low of week? Do we see a Wednesday reversal type move? Those are all things that I'm just throwing in the back pocket here to see if we can make some sense out of it. But that imbalance on the daily time frame is resting right up at that 162.50. Now, lastly, just on the hourly, like we said, discount of the range is still a ways higher, with that 20,162 also relative equal highs resting above. double the pool of liquidity. Okay. And from this point where we currently sit, you will notice that in our most recent price run from our low, oops, to our high, we got our discount retracement. This was yesterday into that bullish imbalance that we formed in that pre-market session. And there's your run for highs. That was the completion of my model on a smaller time frame. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, a little fuzzy. So here's where we currently sit from your low to your high that took out this high. You got your retracement into discount, but there was not necessarily a higher time frame imbalance. What we bounced from was likely something, whether it's a 15-minute or a 5-minute. So I don't really value that all that much. You will see thus far we have shown some respect for this hourly fair value gap here. So this really isn't all of that A plus to me, to be honest with you. So but ultimately at some point this week, I think that 162 is going to get hit. It's just a matter of, does it happen today prior to data and put in some sort of Tuesday low of the week, or do we make the move now below this level here? And I'm not really all that thrilled at this. I think this is really not a nice setup whatsoever. I think I'm actually going to be pretty hands off on NASDAQ and futures as a whole today, or index trading as a whole, just due to the fact that this is pretty ugly. And if we were to look at ES, I'm sure it's not looking all that great either. You do have another imbalance here on the ES hourly right here, which we're currently inside of, but really not all that pretty to me at all. So we're going to see how that all shakes out. Now, before we get into the quick draw or the individual names, we'll take a look at NVIDIA, because I think this is really important. So here's NVIDIA on the weekly time frame. You'll notice very similarly to a lot of these other names, we're in the process of potentially creating a weekly imbalance. Okay, now here's where it gets a little more fishy. Here's NVIDIA. First off, this daily chart also looks awful, really sloppy on both ends, not just to the sell side or buy, it's the buy side as well. It's just really sloppy. But you'll notice we swept this low here and we got somewhat of a bounce. We got into this bearish daily fair value gap right here. And let me just solidify that we have a volume imbalance here as well. Now, NVIDIA above this, then it gets really funky, because this could run up to this 131, but I'm not so sure that happens. Still ugly lows right here, still well in premium of your overarching bullish range, right? Nobody can dispute that this is still a bullish range, and discount of that range is all the way down at 108. So this is a little fuzzy to me. This doesn't really look good to me, really, from any time frame, any perspective. And yesterday when I was on that live trading stream, I talked about it as a potential odd NAM, or that inverse Mando model, and it played out great, right, off of this imbalance here, up towards discount of the range, which we currently got into here on the hourly time frame. So to be honest, these semis really aren't all that enticing to me, and for that reason, I'm not so sure that we're going to get any bit of relief here on NASDAQ, and there could be the formation of that weekly imbalance, and from there I'm gonna have to shift my tune up a little bit. But as always, like I've been saying since literally the first week of January, you can go back to the first stream of this year on YouTube and you'll see that my big thing is I wait for that imbalance to form. I'm not really trying to catch this move due to the fact that over the last 8 months, 9 months, every time that move has happened, it's been immediately erased, right? So I need to give it time to allow it to confirm itself to me. And currently, believe it or not, we are kind of in the process of doing that right now. So we need some serious pumpage to end this week in order to prevent that weekly fair value gap from forming. So that would be NASDAQ. Okay. Let's come on over and let's see. All right, cool. I see some names on over here. Sure. All right, let me do this. Where are we? Here. Now, let's go into quick draw. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to whichever platform you're watching this on. All right, let's go and get it here over to here. Okay, where are we? Okay, so the first one that was brought up was Amazon. Sure, let's look at Amazon here. Okay, very similarly, this is in the process of potentially creating that bearish imbalance as well. So this is a little old, sorry, but we mitigated this previously bullish imbalance and have since flipped that bearish at the moment. Okay, we got into this imbalance here that held on for dear life in our last bout here. I'm honestly looking for how this week can be a potential setter. This could potentially set this up, right, for moving forward, just like on NASDAQ. But NASDAQ has some, I'm sorry, Amazon has some suspect lows right here. See these equal lows? Those are sketchy. So at some point or another, whether we form this imbalance right now or later on down the line, this is just a really shady spot to me for Amazon. This could still very well retrace and fill this up and prevent the weekly from forming. But, if this were to form, this is ideally where I'm looking on Amazon. Here's the daily very similarly. Hold up, let me get a drink here. All right. Here. So as you can see, discount of this current range is it's far away. At 190.19, we have a bearish imbalance right above that here on the daily time frame. Here, that'll be a bearish fair value gap. Now, also let's look and see at what point does this prevent itself from forming 192.86. That would essentially bring you up above this imbalance in order to prevent the weekly from forming. We swept liquidity here and have so far held above that previous pool of liquidity. So, to me, and even looking at the hourly here, right, we have this bullish fair value gap. This dates back to Friday, in which so far we're hovering above, but we need some sort of move to get up over it to get us into discount. Discount is at 187, and we've yet to sweep that low there as well. Just really nasty overall. I mean, we looked at NASDAQ, it looked pretty gross. This also doesn't look all that hot, but for someone from the outside looking in, a move over this imbalance here, I think 187.85 could most definitely be in the cards. Now, in addition to that, you might see, bearish fair value gap. I want to short this down through 179. The reason why I'm not interested in doing so is due to the fact that this is still well in premium of your overarching range, right? Here's the range from your high 196 down to 179. I'm really not interested in shorting this as I'm overpaying for my short opportunity. If I miss this and it continues lower, so be it. But I prefer to get everything that I trade in discounts. And if I don't, then I miss out on the opportunity. So that's Amazon. Yes. Okay. Let's see. SMCI. Sure. Here's SMCI. So this one just completed my model on the hourly yesterday. Also looking pretty gross. Potential for a weekly bearish imbalance forming here. Gotta wait for this weekly to paint. But you have lows here and lows here. Discount of that range on the monthly time frame. Whoops. Sorry. Whoops. Hold on. Here's your monthly range. Look where your discount is of that range. 649, still much lower. Okay. Very similarly, quarterly as well. I tweeted that a couple of weeks ago if you want to punch that in, but that's where we sit on the daily time frame. And as you could see, I was wrong. So here, I'm expecting lower on semis. This is another setup on the semis that I don't necessarily love. And just here's your hourly completion of my model from your high down to your low. Here's your retracement up into premium, the bearish imbalance in premium, right? Why is it premium? Because if we're buying shorts down here, we're risking more than half of the range to make less than half of the range. That doesn't make sense to me. So if we are up in discount, we are getting an opportunity to get our shorts in discount, or risking way less than half of the range to potentially make more than half of the range. That's the whole idea with my Mando model there. So that would be SMCI. Also does not look great right now from the current point we're standing in. Hello. All right. Nice. Sure. Let's look at nice. Okay. Not too bad here. Hold on to your last little imbalance down here in the weekly discount. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Here. That's your current range. Here's the imbalance that it held perfectly. Here it is. Okay. Now let's see. We are. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. This is a pretty important area for it to hold, in my opinion here. So, yeah, you wouldn't want it to move below this 149 low. Then you're going to ultimately see this, which I don't think is completely necessary at the moment. Let's zoom back in. Okay. You have a bearish weekly imbalance coming up here on this one. Right here. That's your first. Here is your second. Here is your third. And you got one more. So just like NASDAQ, just like how we talked about it before, look what happens when you see that first imbalance form on the weekly time frame. First imbalance suggesting price is going to go see discount, right? And you can look at any chart, and that's a pretty viable idea. So this is all right. You're running into this imbalance right here. You actually created this. Where is it? Right there. That's a bullish volume imbalance higher. That should be viewed as a support level moving forward. So ultimately, this range is pretty wide. So I'm going to be out on this, to be honest with you. You got your bearish imbalance coming up soon, but below here, and I think that spells trouble. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Decent find there. So that's nice. And then the other one was what? CYTK. CYTK, sure. Whoa. Okay, now we're talking. Let's just see where did we get all-time highs? Okay, we swept it. All right, that's no problem. Let's zoom back over. So we took out those all-time highs and wicked back. Here is your low to your high. Here is your discount bullish imbalance. Okay, here's a previous bearish imbalance that we currently have mitigated. This name actually looks pretty good. I've never heard of this one before, but this looks pretty good here on the weekly time frame. Of course, weekly time frame, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, unfortunately. When you get higher time frame setups, typically that takes a while. But yeah, this is not a bad one at all. This kind of reminds me of, so this to me is beauty. I'm just going to go off the beat right now. And shout out to Math and shout out to Katie for this one, but they brought this one up, and this one looks fantastic. Massive range, which discount of that massive range isn't until $26. Again, this is a weekly setup. Could take time. Getting up into this bearish imbalance right here. Beautifully set, hit off a bullish breaker here and discount of the bullish range. This one, and I think maybe Secret was on this one too. This one looks really good. I'm hoping I get a chance on a retracement into this bullish imbalance, but this ain't bad at all. And I usually don't look towards plays like this, but as it's only like $6. But yeah, this one also, this is a biotech name, similarly to what was just mentioned there. But yeah, so CYTK, not bad. Tesla, went over Tesla yesterday, so I'll keep this one brief. But look, where we currently sit, we gapped up on the weekly time frame. We are nowhere near discount of our overarching bullish range that we just made. If we zoom this out on a much higher time scale, we still are in discount. So it's all fractal, meaning it's broken down into many different time frames. And throughout those many different time frames, you can see much different price activity, right? So here, for example, if we look at this most recent price range or a smaller time frame, right, range, we're well in premium. But if we were to zoom out and look at something like the monthly here, we are still, well, maybe we left. Maybe you're right. Hold on. Yep, we just left. So we're back up in premium. But just looking at this here, overhead, there's really not much of anything. This was the only thing here on the monthly time frame that I was worried about, and this was the showtime imbalance. We could still very well close below this here. Not something I anticipate, as I hold Tesla shares, so if it goes here, great. If it doesn't, I have an opportunity to buy more. That's really my outlook on this, but I'm not going to be trading earnings on Tesla, as sometimes the earnings setups are a layup, other times not so much. And this to me it's just not it. All right, let's keep going here. Snowflake, we went over Snowflake yesterday too. I don't really like the setup. I think it was up yesterday, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of Snowflake right here. Where we bounce, we're holding on to a previous bullish imbalance for dear life here. That needs to be removed, but it should look like this. So we're holding on for dear life. There, we just recently rejected off of a bearish breaker and a bearish imbalance here. A lot of relative equal lows below. I'm just not really a fan of this name. I know shorting this would be silly due to the fact that we are well in premium of our current range, but I still think it couldn't go lower. All right, V. I think V also has earnings today, and this really looks pretty solid. We are at all-time highs, so just take that for what it is. But we got our weekly imbalance, right? This is kind of like the focal point of the day. When you form the imbalance, oftentimes that's suggesting you're going to go see discount, and ultimately we saw a discount right here. Volume imbalance right off 50%. No unfilled imbalances overhead. You got another volume imbalance here. Let me just mark that. But yeah, this doesn't look bad either. This has earnings. I would not be shocked with a run up to 290.96, but playing earnings, you're just begging to lose your money. So I'm gonna not do that. And here, these are just some relative equal lows way down below for another time. But yeah, this is where we currently sit on Visa. Let's see, Shopify. Sure, let's look at Shop. Shop, I think, is really close to hitting the target I wanted it to go to. Where is it? 61.25 would be awesome. That bullish imbalance here on the weekly time frame, just a quick wick and pull back up into this current range right here. No, we've essentially filled every imbalance overhead now with this move. I know we traded this already, but looking for a second leg here. This imbalance has since been filled. This mitigation block right here has been tested. That's why I got out the first time. And now ultimately looking for a run, pretty substantial capability on this one. But yeah, I like Shopify. This is another higher time frame setup, looking well out into the future on this one. But all right, let me rapid fire here because I got no time. I gotta go to live trading. I think we're in for a breakout of a 200-point run at least, maybe. Same thoughts as you with the discount retracement. Even can go deeper into discount with Google and Tesla. PayPal has a lovely look for a smaller time frame trade up to 64. CrowdStrike. All right, I'm just gonna. I really don't have time to do many more of these, so I'll do CrowdStrike really quick here. Just when you guys come in, just post them right away. So CrowdStrike, I posted this yesterday on X. You can check it out. But I want to see us get into 229. I think that's where we're going. Discount, weekly, bullish breaker, and bullish imbalance. that's where I'm at with CrowdStrike. That doesn't mean that we can't bounce here. We have a weekly imbalance or monthly imbalance here, so I would be shocked if we didn't bounce a little bit here. But ultimately, over the next couple months, I think we go to this level right here. So, all right, I got to bounce. So, anybody who wants to come live trade with us, feel free to do so. The link's in the bio, and I will catch everybody. No public live stream tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow for morning brew in the morning. So I'll catch everybody later.